Hi all, welcome to the KP classes. My name is Vinay and this is the demo class for NATA and JEE-2. In this lecture, I'll be teaching you some basics of drawing and you will be able to draw the same level of drawing after some classes. So how to start this? The very first thing you should have, that is a pencil. The HB pencil is ideal pencil. You can use this pencil to draw all the natural articles. To draw something which is man-made, like the interior, exteriors, products, furniture, home appliances, this is the best pencil we use. It is 0.7 mm pencil, which is a mechanical pencil, right? Now, we have some types of erasers. This is the regular eraser, the one we use. Apart from this, I have this kneadable eraser. I use this as well to make my pencil a little bit lighter. And this is one more important eraser known as a retractable eraser. This is to erase unwanted very small lines. Apart from this, I do use this eraser as well, which is a pencil shaped eraser to erase very minor lines. If you want to draw with 100% perfection, this is very important. Next thing which will be useful for you, two type of scales we have. One, I have a regular 30 centimeter scale, and I have the second one, that is roll and draw scale. I can use this one. So I'll be teaching you how to use all these material to draw something which will be useful for your architecture exam, right? So starting with the very first thing, I'm going to make outlines first of all. This is my A4 size ivory sheet. You can use either ivory sheet or cartridge sheet as well. Now, let me draw the outlines first of all. So what I'm going to do here, I'm making a vertical line by using my scale, and in the upper part, I am going to make a horizontal line. Give me a moment. This. Now, would like to do the same thing here. I'll be making a vertical line like this, and one more horizontal line. Give me a moment. Okay, so this is my space. I'll be using this space to draw something logical. So what I'm going to do for that, see this very carefully. I'm going to use a technique called perspective, but we have different type of perspective. So in this demo class, I'll be using a specific perspective that is known as 2-point perspective, right? 2-point perspective. Okay. Now, what we do in 2-point perspective, it is very much important for you to have 2 points and you have to balance them. You cannot take them randomly. So what I have done here, this is a horizontal line I have drawn, which is very light. Now, what will be my next step? I'll be making a vanishing point here at the left hand side. This point is known as vanishing point number 1. And going to do the same thing here at right hand side. This is called vanishing point number 2. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do, there are some specific lines I'm going to use here to make something which is, the logical. It can be an object, it can be either home appliances or something like that related to architectural drawing. So what I'm going to do here, I would like to make an exterior that will work well. So see this, after making this graph, this is generally known as a graph for 2-point perspective, right? Now what I will be doing, I'm going to put my roll and draw scale here and going to make a vertical line, something like this. It is light, you are supposed to draw with the same intensity. No need to draw very dark first. Okay. This is a line which is going towards vanishing point 1, and going to do the same thing here, this point and the vanishing point number 1. This is the first section I have drawn. Now, what I would like to do here, I'm going to use my vanishing point 2. Let's use the big scale. I'm going to use this vanishing point 2, and this is, I have drawn a line in the direction of vanishing point 2, and in the upper part the same thing, right? So basically I would like to convert this into a cuboid, and after that I'll be converting this into a logical building or maybe a house or something like that. It will be the part of exterior. Okay, so this is known as section cutting. What I did, I have drawn one more vertical line here, and this scale is very useful. If you're going to use this scale, it will make your perspective 100% perfect without any error. One more vertical line I have drawn here. Now the next step is very important. You are supposed to erase the lines which are actually not needed. So I'm going to erase or disconnect the lines. I just need this cuboid, the one I have drawn in 2-point perspective, right? So this is what I'm doing here, removing the lines, not the points and the cuboid I have. Also, I would like to erase this horizontal line because the role of this horizontal line is just to balance the points. We are not supposed to draw some articles by using the horizontal line. Okay, so this is what I have, a very basic cuboid. You don't no need to measure anything. It's a very logical drawing. You have to draw in a very logical way. Now, what I'm going to do next, I would like to do one thing here. I'm going to find the midpoint of this section. So how to do that? Very, very light diagonal line like this. And I'm going to do the same thing here, diagonal line. So this is, I found my midpoint of this surface, this specific surface. In the next step, I'm going to put my scale vertically and roll it left to right, and will make a vertical line, something like this, as you see, right? Now in the next part, I'll make a connection by using individual diagonal lines, something like this. I'm going to make a triangle. Okay, this is my triangle. Now what will be the next thing? Use your vanishing point tool, put your scale and connect this upper part of the triangle with the vanishing point tool, something like this, and put your roll and draw scale, and you are supposed to draw one more parallel line to this individual diagonal line to close this section. Erase extra lines. Okay, now this is a very basic structure of a house or hut, whatever you want to call it. Now I would like to add more things into this picture, but before that, the role of this midpoint is done. So I would like to erase the diagonal line, the vertical line, as well as the point. I don't need them. Okay, that's why I want you to draw, or I want everybody to draw very, very light when they are making the very basic drawings related to whether it is like interior, exterior, doesn't matter. Now once you are done with this is a very basic structure. I would like to add some more things into this picture. So from this corner part of this structure, this is a line. This line is known as vanishing point 2 line because the direction of the line is towards vanishing point 2, right? Now what I'm going to do here, I'll be using this vanishing point again, and I would like to make one more line, something like this. Okay, and from the vanishing point one line, from vanishing point one more line, and this is what I have, one more line. So these three lines are coming out of the vanishing point 1. We'll add dark lines, but not now. We'll add them at the end of the drawing. Now what other things we are supposed to add in this picture? There are so many other things you can add, like a door and a window. So I'm starting with my window. Window will be the best thing to add in this picture. So making a line, vanishing point 2 line, and here as well, vanishing point 2 line. So I've drawn two vanishing point 2 lines. Now from this side, left to right, I'll be adding a vertical line here and one more vertical line. This is what I have, the space for my window. Now I would like to add a frame as well. That is also important. So adding the same lines, vanishing point 2 line, and here I'm going to add a vertical line, very light, one more vanishing point 2 line, and here I'm going to add one more vertical line. Give me a moment. Okay, so this is what I have my space for window. Now there are different type of windows. You can make any one of your choice. It can be either the slider window, it can be the normal window, whatever. There are so many options available. So here this time I would like to add the slider. So to add the slider, what I'm going to do here, I'm adding the slider here, as well as I would like to add the 3D section of the window. That is also important. Fine, so we are done with this. That's it. Now what will be the next thing to add in this picture? I would like to add a 3D door here. So what I'm going to do for that, see this very carefully. Vertical line, one more vertical line, vanishing point 2. Okay. Oh, it was vanishing point 1. Okay. Now going to do the same thing here. Vertical line, vanishing point 1. So this is the frame for the door I have. Now I would like to draw a door which is 3D. So what I'm going to do for that, vanishing point 2 line, vanishing point 2 line again, and give me a moment. Vertical line, and I'll close this section by using vanishing point 1 line, as well as one more vanishing point 1 line at the upper part. So this is a 3D door I have drawn, which is looking transparent. So I would like to erase some unwanted lines again. So this is not needed, as well as the internal lines I'm going to erase them. Okay. Because in generally door is made of some solid material, which can be a metal, wood, fiber, or so many other things as well, but it is not transparent. You are supposed to erase all the internal lines. It is a solid geometry. Fine. So I'm just adding the dark lines here. Okay, let me just make this door visible. Okay, so this is the upper part and the lower part as well. I added some dark lines here. Now I would like to do the same thing here as well. So this is the lower line and the upper line as well, because these are my final lines, so I am allowed to make them visible, because I don't have to erase them later. That's why. Okay, now this is the first section. We are done with this house. Okay, let me add more things. See what I'm doing, I'm just making these lines little bit visible, so applying bit heavy pressure using the same mechanical pencil, which is 0.7 mm. You can use 0.9 mm as well. That's your choice, what type of pencil you want to use. Now this is the first section I'm done. So there's a term called brick masonry or stone masonry. We can add that as well. So it is a specific pattern of bricks or stone. So what I'm going to do for that, I would like to use this vanishing point tool, and I'll be making some lines. But make sure these lines should be light. Don't draw them very, very dark. We'll make them dark, but not now. All the lines are coming actually from the vanishing point tool. Okay, so this is to add this specific pattern of brick that is known as brick masonry. If you're using stone, kind of stone pattern, that will be known as stone masonry. So see this. Okay, let me erase some extra lines from here. And I'm gonna make these lines also visible. This is, I have added brick masonry. You can add some specific pattern, this upper part of the house, that will work as well. See this, all these lines I have added are actually individual diamond lines. Okay, now if you want to add some design or patterns on this door, you can do that as well. You can make either the freehand or by using your scale, that will work as well. That's your choice, what you want to do. Okay, so this is the first section I have drawn of this house. Now what I'm going to do here, I would like to add some other things as well. So to make it a little bit creative, I would like to add, you can add different type of arches we have. The semicircle arch, OG arch, there are different type of arches. That's not mandatory to add, but it's depends on your design. If you're wanting to make something creative, you can draw that same thing. Okay, now let me just make it interesting. I assure you that after some classes you will be able to draw all the things, whatever you can see in front of you, whether it is a railway station, a bus stop, a house, all the interior exteriors or related drawings to architecture, you will be able to draw everything very easily. I'll be teaching you some specific techniques to draw everything. Once you learn the technique with 100% perfection, you will be able to create new designs as well. Not only the drawing of something which is in front of you, but you'll be able to draw the new ideas. Okay, so let me just make it interesting. Okay, I'd like to add some interesting design here. So this is the lower section and this is the rooftop I have. Okay, give me a moment. we can draw some entrance over here, or whatever you want to make. It can be a door or something like that. If you don't want to make anything here, that is fine. It's a part of our design. I would like to add some fences over here. So what I'm going to do for that, see this carefully. It is also an additional thing. So all these lines are coming from this vanishing point 2. And what I'm going to do here, I would like to add some vertical lines as well, but not very dark. These will be light, and would prefer this roll and draw scale. If you don't have, you can use normal scale as well, but I would suggest you to use this one. It will save your time. Whenever you are going to draw something, you will be able to draw in less time. Okay. Now what I did, all the lines coming from vanishing point 2, and these lines are vertical lines, so it's a combination of these two lines. Now what I would like to convert this section into a specific fences we have in the surroundings of our house, farmhouse or something like that. So see this, what I'm going to do here. A vertical line, visible, dark vertical. One more vertical line, one more vertical line, one more. So I just make them visible and dark, and would like to do the same thing here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Vanishing point 2 lines. Okay, going to do the same thing here. Again, vanishing point 2 lines. Now what I would like to do here, I'll be making a triangle in this part, so adding these individual diagonal lines. Okay, going to do the same thing here. Let me balance this first of all. Graph line, give me a moment. Okay, individual diagonal line again. And going to do the same thing here in the lower section. Okay, and I would suggest you to make it 3D. It's very important. Architectural drawings, whatever you're making, at least the actual articles, the interior exteriors, everything should be perfect 3D. So this is the visible fences I have added here, and apart from that you can add other things as well. That is your choice what you want to add here in this picture. So you have seen this. It is very interesting to draw something by using perspective, and all the drawings related to architectural things, interior, exterior and other things. Now we're going to take one more example to make you understand, give me a moment, that how to draw some other things by using the same technique called perspective. So this time what I would like to do here, the very first thing we make outlines. So this is, I have a vertical line. I'm going to make a proper border on my sheet, horizontal line, again vertical, and this is again, I'd like to add one more line. So this is, I'm done with my border part. Okay, now there are some specific questions that might come in your exam, that you're supposed to convert any alphabet or number into a product. It can be any kind of alphabet or number. So would like to take that question. The method is the same. The very first thing you are supposed to do is to make the graph for 2-point perspective. There are 1-point perspective, to 2-point perspective, 3-point, as well as multi-point perspective. But this is a demo class, so I'm going to discuss 2-point perspective. We'll discuss all the perspectives in other classes, right? So this is, we have vanishing point 1 here, and vanishing point 2 here. And this is almost equal division I've done. The upper part and the lower part is equally divided. You are not supposed to measure this in centimeters, but you can logically draw this. Now what my question is, I want to just imagine the question is, you're supposed to take number 4 and you have to convert that number 4 into a 3D number, and after that you have to convert that 3D number into a useful article. It can be a bookshelf, it can be a cupboard, or anything which is like logically you can use. So let's start with the number 4. So what I'm going to do, the rule is the same. I'll be using the vertical line first of all here, and going to do the same thing here. Now I'll be using this vanishing point 2 to make a connection between these two vertical lines, and we'll do the same thing in the upper part, right? So this is my first section. Now I'm going to do one thing here. I would like to convert this space or the 2D into a 3D, which is what? It is a cuboid. Okay. Now what will be the next thing? Give me a moment. Let me convert this into a number 4, and there are no specific dimensions to do so. You can do anyhow, you can change your design, you can make whatever you want to. So these two lines, those I have drawn, are actually the direction of these lines towards vanishing point 2. Okay, and it is very light. And what I'm doing here, I'm making an individual diagonal line like this. And what I'm doing here, from this cross section, I'm making a vertical line like this. And I would like to extend these lines here as well, so that it will look proper number 4. There are different type of fonts. You can use any font of your choice. Okay. Now I would like to convert this upper part as well into 3D. So see this. Okay. What I'm going to do here, I'll be using my roll and draw scale. It is going to help you a lot. Okay, so a parallel line like this. Vertically, I would like to do the same thing here. And what I'm going to do here, one diagonal line. Okay, so this is the very basic 3D number I have. Now what is the next thing? I am not going to make it dark. I would like to convert this into a useful product first. So see this carefully what I'm doing here. I'm making a vertical line very first like this. I'm going to use vanishing point, right? And from this side as well. Let me just add a vertical line. All the lines are the same lines we used earlier. It can be either VP1, VP2, or vertical line, or maybe individual diagonal line. And there are so many possibilities. You can make changes in the design. There's so many things you can do with this. Okay, now what I would like to do here, I'll be making a design here. Now I would like to convert this into a 3D. What I'm doing, I am converting this number 4 into a bookshelf. So it's very easy to do so. Okay, this part also vertical line, vanishing point 2 line, and this as well. Now let me just convert this into a proper bookshelf. Anybody will be able to identify that this is a bookshelf. Let me do this first. Okay, now making some sections here. First of all, diagonal line, diagonal line, diagonal line here also. Okay, so this is the structure I have. I would like to convert this into a 3D, so I'll be using the big scale. Let me put it here. So this scale is going to help me a lot. Okay, this is a line towards vanishing point 1. This is again vanishing point 1. And okay, this is vanishing point 1. BP1. All the lines are going towards vanishing point 1. Fine, we are done with this. Now let me just make it more visible. So I'm applying a little bit heavy pressure here. All the lines which are actually needed. I hope you can understand this and even you can draw this. See all these sections. Again, it's not mandatory to put books inside a bookshelf. You just need to make the sections. Okay, sections are important in these kind of questions. Okay. So this is what we have, number 4, which is actually a bookshelf in 2-point perspective. Okay. Now can you identify this number 4 bookshelf? Now it was very easy. I would like to explain some terms as well which is related to this 2-point perspective, because we are discussing 2-point perspective, so it's important to understand the terms. Terms about 2-point. Perspective. Okay, so the very first thing you should know that whenever you are making something in 2-point perspective, you are supposed to take 2 points, number 1 and number 2. Okay, this point is the first point we take, that is known as vanishing point 1. The second point is called vanishing point 2, right? So it's a very basic and important thing that you are supposed to take 2 points to make something in 2-point perspective. Now, second thing, important thing, your points should be balanced by using a horizontal line like this, or in some specific questions we use vertical lines as well to balance the points. So the second important thing is balance in points. Okay, right? Now the third and very important thing, that you are supposed to use some specific lines, will say that this is the rule for 2-point perspective, right? So we are supposed to use some specific lines. And what are those lines? There are three major lines we call them. The very first line is vanishing point one line. It's known as VP1 line. Lines which are actually coming out of the vanishing point one, generally known as vanishing point one line. The first line. The second, we have vanishing point two line. You know, vanishing point 2 is always at the right hand side, and all the lines which are either going to that direction or coming out of the vanishing point 2 are known as VP2 lines. Important. Now third important lines are vertical lines. You know what is the meaning of vertical line? Vertical line is a line which is moving either up to down or down to up and making right angle with the horizontal line. Like for example, a line which is moving like this and making right angle with the horizontal line, 90-degree angle, then this line is known as vertical line, right? So this line is also important to make something in 2-point perspective. So these three lines are known as major lines, right? There are some additional lines as well. So the very first, we have individual diagonal line or diagonal line. It's your choice if you're wanting to use this diagonal line to draw something. It is not mandatory. It is an additional thing, right? But these three lines are very important when you are drawing something in 2-point perspective, right? So fine, that's it for today. I believe you liked this video. Thank you so much for watching this video. Have a wonderful day. Bye bye.